Okay, please find this pink foldable, and we're going to go over what is point slope form. And before we start, we just want to review up here. We've already spent a lot of time with what's called slope intercept form of a line. And that's when a line looks like this: y equals mx plus b. The reason it's called this is because it gives us our slope and it gives us our y-intercept. So we want to look at the information that a word problem gives us to determine what kind of an equation we're going to be able to build. So today we're going to do what is point slope form. So if you think about it, it makes sense that it must be giving us a point, and we're going to call that ordered pair x1, y1. It's giving us a point that the line goes through, and it's giving us its slope, which we know is abbreviated by m. And here's what it looks like. Y minus y1 equals the slope times the quantity of x minus x1. Okay, so let's try that. If we are given a slope, so let's say that we are given a slope of -2, and let's say we are given the point 2, 6 that the line goes through. We want to come up with an equation for it. So let's just take an idea over here. So 2, 6 would be to the right 2 and up 6. So it would be a point way up here in quadrant 1. And then we would have a negative slope, a -2. So it's going to look something like this. This is the line, what the line's going to look like. And we want to come up with an equation for this line. So if you had to guess, you could probably guess at what you think the y-intercept's going to be. A positive number, something above 6, something up here, but we're not sure. So we're going to use this template. So our formula says that we do y minus, and then we grab y sub 1, and y sub 1 is the y value of the ordered pair. So we're going to use 6 equals our slope times the quantity of x minus x sub 1, and that's the x value of our ordered pair. And we get to here. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of algebra. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to distribute -2, because this says multiply. So we have to multiply -2 by x and by this -2. So -2 times x is -2x. -2 times -2 is +4. We're going to bring our equal sign down, and we're going to bring down y minus 6. So notice we're keeping everything lined up. Now to solve for y, we have to get rid of this -6. So we're going to add 6 to both sides, because we know that these two operations cancel each other out. And we're left with y equals -2x, and we combine our like terms to get +10. Now if we look up here to our prediction, that makes sense, that our y-intercept is way up here at 10, and we are going down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. And that's why we hit the point 2, 6. Okay? All right, if we are given 2 points on a line, so let's say that we don't know the slope, but we are given these 2 points. To come up with the equation, what we have to do first is find the slope. So our slope formula says that we have to subtract the 2 y values on top. So I'm going to find both y coordinates. So those are the 2 n coordinates, and I'm going to subtract them. You can do them in any order as long as you are consistent. So I'm going to go 6 minus 4 on top. And then on bottom, I have to go back to and do them in the same order of the x's that I did the y's. So since I did 6 minus 4, on the bottom I have to do 2 minus -1. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 minus a -1 we add the opposite, and it becomes 2/3. So then we just plug it into point slope formula. So we have our slope, and now we have to just pick whichever point we want. Now I'm going to pick this point as my x1, y1, only because I don't like to deal with negatives. So I don't want to deal with that ordered pair. So my formula says I do y minus the y1, which in this case is 6, equals my slope of 2/3 times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. Okay, so there's our equation in point slope form. All right. Now, if we had this equation and it's given to us in point slope, could we go backwards and make a graph? Well, looking at this information, what you need to be able to point out or pull out of the problem is that it's giving us an ordered pair that this line goes through. And the ordered pair is 2, 6. So if you go over 2 and up 6, we plot a point. Then from this equation, you should be able to figure out or pull out the slope. So from here, we rise 2, run 3. And we just graphed the line in point slope form. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is we're going to open this up, and there's different types of each of these problems. I want you to try to work through it, and then you're going to come and check it and make sure that you've done them correctly. I'm going to do just a couple with you. So I'm going to go down here and do this one. Find the equation of a line given this point with a slope of 1/2. So here's my point slope formula. So I'm going to plug my ordered pair in. So -9 is my y sub 1. So this becomes y minus -9 equals my m value is my slope. Then I do x minus x sub 1, which in this case is -6. Now I want to do some work with signs here. When you subtract a negative, that becomes adding the opposite. So this is y plus 9. Over here, same thing, this becomes adding the opposite. But I'm going to, in this step, distribute. So 1/2 times x is 1/2 x plus 1/2 times 6. So half of 6 is 3. And my last step to solve for y, I need to subtract 9 to get rid of this plus 9. So I'm going to subtract 9 over here, and I get 1/2 x. Positive 3 minus 9 is -6. Okay. Down here for these two problems, you are going to first need to find the slope. So using these two ordered pairs, you're going to have to do y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2. And then you pick one of the ordered pairs to plug into the formula. Okay. All right, so continue working on these and try to complete this, and then check it on the front board.